Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. In my last video, I showed you guys making the first hand of this full nail set for a custom order that a client ordered from me. So in this video, we're going to be making the second hand. This is what it looks like, and I'm going to freestyle the thumb based on the other hand that I just did. So I'm going to get started here. It is an extra long coffin nail set. And with extra long coffin or any extra long length nails, I would always recommend that you add some type of extra sturdiness to it. So like a base coat or something like that. The nails do end up being really sturdy either way. Like you don't always have to add it, but I would recommend it if you do make long nails because it just makes them a little stronger, and you don't have to add like a base coat, a thick coat of gel like a builder gel or a poly gel or anything like that. I feel like that's going to require a lot of filing, and it's just way more work, and I feel like it's unnecessary, you know, in my personal opinion. So I'm going to be doing the pinky green just like the inspiration picture. I mixed together two different greens to get the color I needed, and then I'm going to be curing that for a full 60 seconds. So I'm basically going through the video explaining to you guys the steps that I'm taking to get this desired look requested by my customer. And this is how I make a customer nail set in case you want to start making press-on nails for yourself or to sell on the side as a little side job or anything like that. It might be a little hard to get started selling at first. You just need to be consistent and just get your technique better and better. And I promise you will be able to sell some really pretty nails. So I'm just going in with all of the colors I'm going to need as the base colors for the designs. So as you saw, I already did the base coat. It's just a regular base coat. You can use Beetles, you can use D&D, any brand of base coat that you have on hand or that you find on Amazon or wherever, you can use to strengthen the nail. It's just an extra layer to add to these long nails. But I'm basically going to get started now. Like I said, sorry, I'm repeating myself, but on all the colors I'm going to need for the base of the designs. So that's how you have to work. You have to work from like first layer, second layer, third layer, fourth, like that, and so on and so forth. I'm speaking like if you're a beginner, you know, I want to explain this for anyone that's just starting out. So I am doing the green on the pinky, and then I did this like beige color on the ring finger, and I'm kind of ombreing down some of my pastel yellow color from my nail supply shop, nailslayedbyval.com, and this color is called Sunlight Glow. It is a pastel yellow color. After putting that into the lamp for 60 seconds, I'm now able to grab my little tool with the sponge, and I'm going to be kind of like creating a gradient. In the inspiration photo, it's honestly really hard to tell exactly what it was. So if you're a beginner and you get requests to make nail sets and you don't know exactly what the design looks like, because it's honestly kind of hard to tell in some photos, just try your best. So to me, it looked like there was like a little bit of a different color blended in there as well. So that's why I went in with the beige color as the base, and then the pastel yellow on the bottom of the nail by the free edge. And then I grabbed a little bit of a burnt orange color, and I'm kind of like blending that downwards. I just felt like it had this color in it. I got that type of vibe, so I'm just blending it on there, and I'm just trying my best not to make it so opaque. It looked kind of sheer, and I'm gonna cover most of it with these palm trees anyways. So I'm gonna grab this liner gel. I mixed it with a little bit of the burnt orange color to kind of sheer it down a little bit. I don't want it to be so opaque like it is right now. The liner gel is Triple Fudge by Nails by Dev, and I just mixed it with the random burnt orange gel polish that I had on hand. So I am going to get like a rich brown color, and I am going to be using my ultra thin liner brush, which is restocking very soon on my nail shop, again, nailslayedbyval.com. And any of you guys that watch my videos, you guys can always get a 10% off your order at checkout with discount code NAILSLAYER in all caps. It's from my own store. It's just a 10% off for any of you guys that want to save a little bit of money. And yeah, so this brush will be restocking soon. It's my ultra thin brush, and this is a brush I use to create all my French tips and any long thin lines that I need to make and anything like that. And it is my favorite brush for creating palm trees. So as you can see, I did kind of a stem going from thick at the base to skinny on the top, and I'm doing 2 palm trees. I'm working as quickly as I possibly can. I honestly do these really fast because I've done so many of them already from all of the years of doing tropical themed nails. And honestly, tropical nails are one of my favorite nail sets to make. They're just so pretty, so fun, give me a tropical vibe. I don't know what it is, but I love it. So I kind of just create a bunch of leaves. I kind of start off with like 4 lines for the leaves, and then I make them kind of droopy, like drooping down to make it look like the leaf of the palm tree is like heavy, you know? That's what gives it that droopy palm tree effect. I don't put them facing upwards or facing sideways that much. Like I kind of do them a little droopy, and that's because in real life the leaves kind of fall down a little bit, or like droop down, because they're heavy, so it gives that cute palm tree effect. I don't really know how to explain it, but I hope some of you guys understand what I mean. And yeah, I'm just using the brush to kind of create little tiny strokes for the little individual leaves that are on each branch, I guess. Are they branches? I guess they are branches, and then leaves that I'm drawing on there. So I do that, and I do have to clean my brush in between, so you can see me cleaning it with these lint-free wipes. The lint-free wipes that I'm using, the nail stands that I'm using, and the putty to even stick on the nails will all be in the description box. I always put everything I'm using in the description of every video. Sometimes I may miss a thing or two, but I always usually try to my best to remember everything that I used and add it in the description for you guys. So now I'm going in with my favorite base color ever. It is called Blushed Clay from my shop, and this is from my brand also. It's a HEMA-free gel polish 20 milliliter bottle, so you won't run out of product too quickly. And I honestly love this color. It works so good with almost every design that I have to do. I always reach for this color because it's so universal, it's so neutral. It's not so pink, so peach. It's not too cool toned, it's not too warm toned, so I just love it. It's a perfect in between. And for this nail set in particular, I'm going to go in with 3 coats of this. I usually always do 2 coats for every nail set that I make because I feel like it's perfect. But for this set specifically, I'm going in with 3 coats because I feel like in the inspiration photo, the base color is a little more opaque and it's not really giving like that sheer type of vibe. So I want it to be more opaque, so I'm going to build up the coverage. But 2 coats is usually the perfect amount of coverage to where it's not see-through, and that's why I love the formula of this polish. I went in with the burnt orange color on the what is this, the pointer finger, and now I'm going in with a green that I mixed together. I used my color called Electric Lime from my Neon Nectar gel polish collection, and I mixed it with a little bit of Dreamy Meadow from my Pastel Daydream collection, and it gave me this pretty green color that I can use to create these leaves. This is just a little base of leaves. It's not too perfect. It's honestly super easy to do. The brush I'm using is my 9mm Super Slayer brush. It picks up a little more product, so it's easier to create leaves and things like that, so the leaves aren't so thin. Because if you use an ultra thin brush, which is my French Slayer brush or my Slate It brush, it'll be too thin to create the leaves that I'm trying to go for right now. So that's why I use my 9mm. And you might notice something kind of weird if you're barely watching my video for the first time. As I work, I twist the nails all around. Like I'll flip the hand over, or not the hand, but you know, I flip the nail stand over to the other side and then flip it sideways and then kind of work this way. So I kind of work in all different ways, whatever works best for me, depending on the design that I'm doing in that moment. Because I just started doing this out of habit over years and years of creating press-on nails. I've had my press-on nail business for probably like 4 years or more now. I think like 5, almost 6 years, honestly. I don't even know. I started in 2021 and now we're in 2026. So yeah, a long time. And that's why you might notice I do things a kind of weird way sometimes because it's just out of habit. I just do stuff like that. But before this, I used to do actual acrylic nail clients. Like I would do real clients on acrylic nails for acrylic nails, or I had clients for acrylic nails. And now after doing only press-ons, I stopped doing acrylic and everything a long time ago. I am doing this now. So you might notice I do my French tips kind of weird. I do it backwards. So you notice that the tips are facing upwards. That's because it's just the way that I learned the fastest and the way that's easier for me to create that crisp smile line. Whenever I try to create the smile line with the tips facing downwards, it's so much harder for me for some reason. So that's why you notice I do that. Now I'm going to be doing a really fun hack to create a tortoiseshell French tip. I'm grabbing my Purrfect Black gel polish, which is my ultra pigmented black gel. It is super pigmented, 1 coat coverage, and I am going to be using this to kind of create little dots in the shape of a French tip nail. So I'm leaving myself space to where I would want to draw the smile line on there, and that's just the best hack to create a quick tortoiseshell. You'll see right now how I finish it off. So what I did was I did little dots of black with my Purrfect Black gel polish. Then I put it in the lamp for a quick 30-second cure. Then I'm going to be, or I already did, put on little dots of brown to give it a little bit of depth. Random dark brown spots around the black ones. And it's going to look kind of like a leopard print at first. But then once you go in with the sheer jelly color, which is this brown, and this exact one will be in the description box, I am just going over it in the shape of where I want where the dots are at, essentially. I don't want to put it too much on the nude part because I'm going to have to wipe it off. So I just put it like that, and then I grabbed a perfectly round brush, and I'm kind of revealing the smile line by cleaning it up and trying to get it as perfect as I can. This is how I started doing my French tips in the very beginning of my journey, kind of. And it was the way that always worked for me. So I kind of still like have muscle memory on how to do it. But basically you grab a round brush and reveal your French tip, and it's a really good hack if you're not good at drawing on the smile line, or if you want to do a design like this where you just want to make it quick and easy. Like, I could have still drawn the smile line on and filled it in, but personally I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this hack, so I felt like this is way easier and fun to do because it's really satisfying cleaning up the line. Like, I love when I get to do this. So that's what I did, and it created the perfect tortoise shell. So right now it's in the lamp curing for 60 seconds. And then once it comes out, I'm actually going to go in with one more layer of jelly color. So you can see it's perfect right now, but I like it to be a little darker to match the other nail, because on the other hand, if you didn't see my last video, I did the 2 coats. So I'm going to go in with one more coat here. I'm trying to make it as thin as possible, and I'm also cleaning up the sidewalls as I go along because I don't want the sides to be so lumpy. With tortoiseshell nails, it's kind of inedible. Like, you might have some lumpiness because of all the different little globs of gel you're putting on there, but just try to keep the layers thin and you'll be okay with like not too much lumpiness. And if you have a little lumpiness on the sides, you can always go in and file it if you have to, but for the most part, with this method, I did not have too much lumpiness at all. It's pretty flush and even. So, especially because I cleaned up the sides and made sure to get off any extra gel. But as you can see, it created the perfect little tortoiseshell French tip, and it matches the other hand perfectly. So what my customer told me is that I could freestyle the thumbs based on the overall vibe of the set. So what I decided for both thumbs is to incorporate one color design from the other hand. So for example, this one I decided to do a tortoiseshell French because there's already only one French nail, and I feel like it looks odd to have just one in the middle, on the middle finger. So I needed to make the thumb a French tip as well. So that's why I decided on a French. And then when I decided, okay, well, what kind of French do I do? I remembered that on the other hand, I did a tortoiseshell full nail. So I decided to make a tortoiseshell French. So that's how I came up with this for the thumb. And then for the other hand, I decided on a full green nail so that there isn't only one full green nail right here on this pinky. So that way the other hand has something that matches this hand, and then this hand has something that matches the other hand. So I'm going in with a matte top coat for that French tip that I created on the middle finger. This is a chrome resistant matte top coat, so the chrome is not going to stick to it when I want to create my design, which you guys will see right now. It's a really, really good, amazing top coat. Like, you guys need to get your hands on a chrome resistant matte top coat if you don't already have one, because before this I was struggling so much. I would have to buff the base of the nail and make sure there's no shininess so the chrome doesn't stick to it. And now, since there's chrome resistant matte top coats, like, they created them, or whoever invented it, honestly, best invention ever. But I can't live without it now. For my chrome, I always need to have this on hand. So after curing the matte top coat in the lamp, I basically am starting on my design. I'm using my Purrfect Black gel polish again to make this sun design. So it's like a sun, like boho vibe. It's honestly giving a boho vibe to me. But I basically did the half circle around the side of the nail, and then I'm doing the little swirly lines going outwards, and I'm going to cure it in my lamp for exactly 30 seconds. And this gives the perfect base for the chrome to stick. So it's not over cured and it's not under cured to where it's going to smudge. It's like perfect in between. So I cured it for 30 seconds, then grabbed my chrome palette, which will also be in the description, and I'm going to just rub that in with my glove, and it's going to give the perfect chrome finish. I like to mix 2 of the gold colors on the chrome palette so it's not too like silvery and it's not too champagne. It's like the perfect goldish vibe. So I'm kind of I did that, and then I'm just grabbing a tiny sponge, the sponges that I use with my little tool from Shein, and I'm just getting off the extra chrome powder here. I really try to do this as best as I can and get all the extra particles because I don't want my top coat to become tainted, even though I do have a specific top coat for chrome that I have on hand for anytime I do chrome designs. But for some reason I always forget to use it, and I always grab my regular top coat, so I always end up tainting all my top coats. So that's why I try to clean it off as well as I can. It's kind of like habit that I don't remember, you know, like I remember in my head to clean it off really well, but then in that moment I don't remember to use my chrome specific top coat. But yeah, anyway, it's super random. The top coat is also from my shop, nailslaveby.com. And you can definitely tell that I kind of work in such a random order because I'm top coating some nails but then continuing to work on the others. So that's kind of just how my brain works in a very odd way, honestly. So just in case you're a beginner wondering like why didn't I move on to the next nail right away, it's not for any specific reason. It's just because I like to just work in whatever order feels right in my head, and that's like how I do it. It doesn't have any rhyme or reason. It's just random. So you can see I top coated the palm tree nail already. I top coated the middle finger already. And now I'm getting started on the 3D flower. So honestly, sometimes I have trouble with these 3D flowers because getting these little balls to match up perfectly is always so hard. Like, it's like hard to like measure out exactly how big they need to be. But I basically just made a big flower like the inspiration picture, and I'm using this putty that I got from Amazon. I'll put it in the description for you guys, and I'm just rolling it on there. I don't like it to get stuck all over my gloves or get my gloves sticky. That's why you see me rolling it with my cuticle pusher tool, because I just don't want it to stick to my gloves. So that's why I do that, and I kind of just roll it out on the actual jar, and it's kind of random, but that's what I like to do. And yeah, so I'm just sticking it on in a random flower shape, and they're basically going to stay little balls until I'm ready to flatten them out. So I just leave them as little balls, and then I'm going to grab my silicone tool. The silicone tool does not stick to the putty. That's why they're perfect for this type of putty gel. It works really great, and this gel cures or dries in the UV LED lamp also, so it's going to dry perfectly. Anytime you want to create some cool 3D stuff, this stuff is perfect because you can create so many different things and different looks and different flowers and leaves and whatever you want to create with this. So that's the only thing, is like you have to work kind of in layers if you want to add layers to it, because it will stick to each other. So it's not like I mean, I guess it's kind of like Play-Doh in a way where like you can kind of connect it, but I guess that's the best way to explain it, is it's kind of like Play-Doh but stickier. And obviously I wouldn't recommend you touch it with your hands because this is like a chemical product. It's gel, so I would recommend you use gloves all the time. So don't like grab this with your fingers, you know. And also maybe grabbing it with your fingers will leave oil residue or like little pieces of lint all over it, and you definitely don't want that. So definitely try to keep it clean by having your gloves on and having your silicone tool on hand. These silicone tools are the mini size, so they're specifically meant for like smaller flowers and smaller designs like these, so where you really need to get into the little crevices. I'll put these in the description box as well. And yeah, so I'm just going in and basically flattening the petals out and really trying to get them pointy on the side, like on the tips of the flower, and like, I don't know, that's the look I'm trying to go for, and the silicone tool really helps get that overall look. I'm going to be grabbing my Bahama Babe gel polish from my Neon Nectar gel polish collection, and I'm also going to be using a little bit of Island Sunset, also from my Neon Nectar gel polish collection. This is my ultra pigmented neon gel polishes, so I'm using the pink to kind of paint it on here and just create the pink petal color, and I put it on there, and then I'm going to be curing it for 60 seconds. And then with my bright orange color called Island Sunset, I'm going to go right in the center of the flower and create a little bit of a gradient, but it's honestly such a subtle gradient, but it looks really pretty and tropical. So I felt like that is what was in the inspiration picture. It was like pink flower with like yellow orange center, and it had like a charm in the middle, or like a little, some type of like gold something. I'm pretty sure it was gold, so I used a gold bead, which you guys will see in a second. And yeah, for any embellishments that I have to put on, I always use my rhinestone gel, and it's also works really great for applying any type of 3D like non-wipe details. Like if you see those little bubbles or the little 3D lines, you can use this product for that. So that's what I'm going to be using for this. I also went in and added a little bit of details to the flower and to the little leaves just to switch it up a little bit. I usually like to switch up the design, just add a tiny little touch that I think would really elevate the design a little bit. So I did that. I'm top coating all the nails, finishing them off. I also finished off the pinky nail off camera. I actually had to redo it because I had to do the 3D lines first, then apply the green right on top. So it gives that like lumpy nail effect that has like lines underneath. I don't know how to explain that look, but that's what I did for that. And I was just trying to replicate the photo as best to my, like, to the best of my knowledge, I guess. And once everything was finished, filed, and put away in the box, this is how the full nail set turned out. I really hope you guys enjoyed this hand that I did, and stay tuned for tomorrow's video because I have another one coming for you guys, and I'll see you then. Bye!